Good morning, everybody. Let's that is controlling. If you remember, we started our chapter management, in which we did all the process steps to be taken. The management starts from planning and it ends with controlling. But it's continuous process. Again, it starts with planning and up to controlling, it will be finished by. So today we will learn the last step of our management, that is controlling. So what is controlling over here? Let's see. After learning this chapter, what you come to know. After learning this chapter, you just come to know that what is the basic concept of controlling, what is the importance of controlling, what is the relationship between planning and controlling, and moreover, what are the steps in controlling process. Let's see, controlling. What happened? See, when we start any of the business or any of the activity and it start, we defined our standards or parameters in planning. We did all the activities according to the decided or pre-decided parameters in the planning. We did organizing for that. We do staffing, we do directing, and communicate to all the subordinates and team members. And after doing all this, what we did, actual results just come to us. And what we planned the desired results. Actual results and desired results are there, and the difference between that is the deviations. So in this step, controlling, it is to be considered that whether our actual results are according to our desired results or not. If the actual results are according to desired results, it means we are successful in attainment of our goal. Whatever we decided, whatever we desired, whatever we determined, we achieve that. But many times this not happen. Some deviations are there. There are some differences taken place between the standard defined by us as well as the actual performance. So what the author is saying about this, let's see. Controlling refers to bringing the actual results closer to the desired results. The assessment of work from time to time, coordinating the actual work done and expecting progress, calculating deviations, taking corrective actions. These are to be done in controlling. After that, you have to do any of the definition. Here the definition is by Dale Hanning is given to us. So what is controlling? Controlling is the process of bringing about conformity of performance with the planned action. What is controlling? It's the process of bringing about conformity of performance with the planned action. The next is our features. See, it is the fundamental management function. What is controlling? Controlling is the fundamental management function, because without controlling, we cannot identify whether we have achieved our desired or standardized results or not. Only with the help of controlling, we just come to know that what are our basic achievements, what we did, what we gained, what we lose. Pervasive. It is not compulsory that we have to control only in the business organization, whether it is any trading organization, manufacturing organization, professional organization, personal life, everywhere. Suppose you decided and predetermined about the goal of achieving 95% plus marks in your board exam. In this class, you want to achieve that. You did all the efforts according to that, and at the end in your pre-board, you just come close to the results that whether you are able to achieve the whatever that is standardized parameters defined by you, or you are not able to achieve. If you are not able to do that, what happened in that case? You will find out what is the deviations, what are the loopholes, and you just try to overcome and try to achieve your target in your pre-board exam. if still, sorry, in board exam, and still in the final examination you are not able to cope up with the situation, then you find out the deviations again. And if you achieve the target, it means your management has become successful. So it's all pervasive. It never means that it is applicable in the corporate sector, it is applicable in the professional life or anywhere else. It is applicable everywhere. Continuous activity. Suppose you scored well in the board exam. Now, what happened? Now you will chase for the admission in the best university. You got the admission in the best university where you have to work accordingly. And what happened in that case? Where you get the admission, you get the placement, then your target becomes that you have to want to get placed in your best company. So in order to get the best placement, you will work accordingly in your classes at the graduation level or the university level. So in this way, controlling never ends. It is a continuous activity. Till the business exists, till the activity exists, the controlling will remain there. Present in both the beginning and the end of the process of management. It is present in both the beginning and the end process of the management. It some में present होता है. You have to start with the beginning and end with the process of the management, because whatever you do, when you decide your parameters, controlling is also there, because you will control your limitations there. You will define only those parameters or that set of rules that is able to achieve, that can be converted into reality. So it means you also have a check or control at that time also. So it's present in beginning and the end of the process of management as well. And related to results, definitely controlling just gives us the feedback whether all the things settle down, whether the results has been achieved or not achieved. It is to be given only in controlling. So what is the importance of controlling? Accomplishing organizational goals. What is controlling? Accomplishing organizational goals. As I told you, in controlling, we find out the deviations, we measure our standards with our actual performance. So it accomplished the organizational goals. Judging the accuracy of the standard. Yes, in controlling, I'll explain you the complete controlling process by which you come to know. At the time of controlling, we also judge that what is the level of the deviation is there, whether the deviations are up to the level of the control, or it is management by exception, or it is cross the critical point control. What is that? In this way, we also judge the accuracy of the standard and making the efficient use of the resources. Moreover, controlling helps us to make the best use of the resources. Improving the employee motivation. In controlling, the human psychology is completely based on a check. If somebody is checking your work, if somebody is supervising your job, you just did the job in the better manner. It's a human psychology. A pressure always, a check always, a kind of the motivation also. So when you control the situation, when you look up each and everything, whether the work is going on according to the defined parameters or not, and the good work is appreciated, and the people who are not working properly, they will penalized for that work, it develops a sense of motivation in the employees itself and ensures the order and discipline. No doubt, control just create a check on each and every activity of the business organization, which ensure the order and discipline of the business organization. Facilitating the coordination in action. It facilitates the coordination in action, because coordination is defined first, that it is to be coordinated. There should be a relationship as established between all the activities. After maintaining the relationship, when it comes into action, it comes into action at the time of controlling. So it is all about the importance of the controlling. Without controlling, we cannot expect the management function. Controlling is a very vital role. Controlling plays a very vital role in the field of management. Management cannot be imagined without controlling. Now, as planning is the first step, while the controlling is the last step. Planning is the first step of the management, while the controlling is the last step of the management. So if we talk about the interdependence between the planning and controlling, that is known as planning, that is interdependent is you can give in the form of the difference as well as the relationship between them. If we see, planning is meaningless without controlling. Planning is meaningless without controlling, and controlling is blind without planning. See, let me explain first. Planning is meaningless without controlling. Suppose you are not doing controlling. You define the plan. You in the planning, you just come to know that what to do, when to do, how to do, by whom it is to be done. You did all the related activities like the organizing, staffing, directing, everything you will do. But at the end, you will not calculate, you will not analyze whether your actual performance is according to your standard performance or not. You don't define it, you don't calculate it, you don't measure it. Then what happened? What is the meaning of planning? What's the need of planning? If you don't want to see that what is to be achieved and no target is there to achieve, then what is the question arise to do planning? Planning becomes absolutely meaningless in that case. So without controlling, planning is meaningless. But if I talk about the controlling, control is absolutely blind without planning. Controlling is absolutely blind without planning. Because if we will not do any planning, nothing is defined, no standards are there, no parameters are there to be achieved. What happen in that case? What will you control? There is nothing to control. There is nothing to see that what is to be done. There is nothing to be seen that whether the right job has been done or not. Nothing is there to control in the absence of planning, because planning are the parameters, planning are those set of rules, planning are those policies, procedures, that forecasting, which just let us know that what is to be done, how it is to be done, by whom it is to be done, by which time it is to be done. It just provide each and every direction to the management, to the business organization. If planning is not there, nobody knows where to move. Nobody knows who has to move, in which direction, and by which sources. What is the target or what is the aim to do all the activity? Nothing is to be defined. If we, on the another side, this was the interrelation. If we talk about the difference, if we talk about the difference between planning and controlling, see, planning is looking ahead. When we are living in the present, we look into the future. What is planning? Planning means to plan. Planning means to forecast. Planning means to look into the future. Planning always gives us that how the plans are to be made. Planning states us that what is to be done, by whom it is to be done, what is the aim of the organization, how it is to be done. So many things that is done under the planning only. Planning is in the present and it is always look ahead in the future. Planning always look ahead in the future. So what is controlling? When the job done, controlling means looking back, means what we have done, whether we have done the assigned job in a perfect manner or by deviations, whether we did our job or whether we have not done. It is to be done in the controlling. The standards are to be taken care whether it is actually received or actually achieved or no. So what is the difference between planning and controlling? Planning means looking ahead, while controlling means looking back. The another relationship, if we see the difference, it is the first function of managerial process. Like we start with planning, then organizing is there, then staffing is there, then directing, then controlling. So it starts with the planning, but controlling is the last step of the ladder. Whatever the management process, whatever the ladder it is, the last function is known as the controlling. And what is the first function? First function of the managerial process is the planning. Planning is the first function of managerial process, while the last function is of the managerial process is controlling. Now, let's go for the controlling process. What happened in case of controlling process? First of all, the performance standards has been settled. First of all, performance standard has been settled. It is to be seen that whatever the performance has been done, what are the basic standard of that performance. After that, measurement of the actual standard is to be done. Whatever that is achieved, actually, that is to be measured in the second step. Then comparison of the actual performance is to be done. Comparison of the actual performance is to be done. Analyzing the deviation. Deviation has been analyzed in the fourth step. How deviation has been analyzed? It is analyzed by making comparison. Suppose you started your class and at the end of the year, at the time of pre-board, you just settle your standard performance that in the beginning I planned to score 95 plus. Then you see your performance in your UTs, in your FA, essay, all the assessments, you see your marks, and that are your actual standards. Then you make comparison that whatever you decided in the planning according to those standard performance, your actual performance is as it is, or any difference is there. If any difference is there, then you analyze the deviation. Suppose we score up to 80%, then you analyze that there is a deviation of 15%. It means what is the why the deviation of the 15% occurred, whether you don't prepare well, whether the paper was not according to the expectation, whether your presentation part was not strong, whether the time limit is less, whether you was not well in the examination. So many causes of the deviation can be there. So you have to analyze that what are the causes of the deviation and how it is to be removed to achieve the objective. And then the taking corrective action. After achieving the analyzing the deviation, that it is to be done, it is to be calculated that how the corrective measure is to be taken, and we have to calculate the or achieve the target that is to be aimed. Whatever the ambition that you have to achieve, whatever the target you have to achieve, it is to be achieved while taking the corrective action. In this way, the controlling completed. So setting up the standard performance and all, the explanation we will do later on tomorrow. You have to do your topics up to this. If anybody have any doubt in this, please ask. Feel free to have your query.